take your breath away.
No, start from up here. It's like trying to breathe.
It's like trying to breathe through a pool of water. You can't get air in or out. It comes without warning and feels like an elephant sitting on your chest. These vivid, terrifying descriptions collected by the environmental nonprofit Earth Justice will probably sound familiar to the more than 166,000 Philadelphians who have asthma, more than 1 in 10 residents. In 2015, Philadelphia was the #3 asthma capital in the country, but behind Memphis and Richmond, according to an annual report from the Asthma Allergy Foundation America, which publishes one of the few top 100 lists you don't want to be on.
In addition to the prevalence of the lung disease, Philly clinched the 3rd spot due to its worse than average air quality and number of annual asthma-related emergency room visits. Unfortunately, these numbers will likely get higher thanks to climate change. Pennsylvania's average yearly temperature has already risen about 2 degrees Fahrenheit since the beginning of the 20th century. The mercury could climb up to 11 degrees higher by the end of the century, depending on how much the world manages to slash emissions. All that extra heat can have a significant impact on health, especially in urban areas like Philadelphia, where heat island effects are for real. As the temperature rises, so do heat-related illnesses and deaths, particularly for people who are old, young, or sick.
Yeah. And for asthma sufferers, the heat can give a boost to, I finally found the answer to 3. To irritants in the air that inflame airways and trigger attacks. The new series of maps published by Natural Resources Defense Council outlines how such irritants, ozone and ragweed pollen, I said that right?
Yes.
Could affect 127 million Americans as our climate changes. To keep climate changes, we did that. And effects of smugs and ragweed pollen in check in Philly and other urban areas. The most necessary and obvious step is to lower emissions of heat-trapping carbon pollution like carbon dioxide. Fortunately, Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney is one of the 331 U.S. mayors who has signed an open letter promising to adopt, honor, and uphold the commitments to the goals enshrined in the Paris Climate Agreement, and recently committed it. I said it right? Committed. I can't say it.
Okay.
Philadelphia to the transitioning to 100% clean area by 2035. Philadelphia knows it has more work to do.
The mayor's office recently launched a new program to raise awareness of the ways Philadelphia can combat climate change, reduce carbon pollution, improve the energy efficiency of their buildings, and provide better access to affordable low-carbon transportation. An additional positive step the city can take to curb local air pollution is incentivizing electric vehicles. Because you can't see carbon dioxide, Mayor Kenney says that convincing people that climate change matters is one of the hardest things to do. Ozone and ragweed, however, have immediate, direct effects on people's lives. It will soon be clear in smoggy, sneezy cities nationwide that climate action is a breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air.
I like that. That's like like what is that called when it's like a metaphor? I forgot what it's called when it's like saying something, but that like you are reading between the lines.
Yeah, metaphor.
So they saying basically all the air we're gonna be breathing. They saying it's gonna be our fresh air, but it's not really fresh air. Like they trying to be like sarcastic. I can't think of the word. All of them reading it.
Alright.
So number 1.
No, you don't miss one.
What?
Because
We read that.
Where does Philly rank in U.S. cities for cases of asthma?
I don't know.
It's gonna be.
You rank number 3, right?
No, we on number 1.
You're not number 1. You're number 1? Yeah.
Where does Philly rank in U.S. cities for cases of asthma?
It's in the top paragraph.
Let's say number 3. Number 3, the capital in the country.
Yeah, so the answer for number 1 is number 3.
Number 3.
I mean 3.
What?
They say 3 is the second paragraph.
Hers.
They say it.
Number one, you just
It's not even a number 3. They say 3.
3.
number one.
Where do y'all see this at?
The second paragraph.
I'm looking.
You see in 2015, right?
Mhm.
Philadelphia. Oh, that's in 2015.
What's the number 3?
That don't say 2017 nowhere. But it say 2015 Philadelphia was number 3 asthma capital in the country.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yo.
When the winter time comes, my asthma gets worse. Now that I'm on controlled medicine, I still have yet to go pick up from the pharmacy.
Yeah. Alright. Number 2. How much has the temperature risen in
2
Pennsylvania since the 20th?
2 degrees Fahrenheit.
2 degrees.
Fahrenheit.
Right?
2.
So it was 3, since y'all want to be so smart.
What's number 2?
2 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
It's numeric because Fahrenheit and Celsius is 2 different things.
Right.
Alright, so it's 3.
What does heat in Philly give a boost to?
Irritants in the ear. And
Yep.
Number 4. According to the article, what is the most obvious step to keep smog and ragweed pollen in check?
it's the lower emission of trapping heat.
Carbon pollution, like carbon dioxide.
Where is that?
It's
The,
the first paragraph on the back
yeah,
at the bottom sentence.
yeah. Are y'all ready for number 5? 5. By when is Philadelphia committed to 100% clean, carbon-free energy?
2035.
Yo, relax.
I just said don't say it, but like some fun over it. Are you ready for 6?
Yes.
What are 2 to 3 ways Philadelphia can combat climate change, like fight it?
Reduce carbon pollution,
Improve the energy efficiency of
provide
the
better
building,
access.
and provide
Okay, can y'all say that one by
Yeah,
one,
y'all.
please?
reduce carbon pollution, improve the energy efficiency
Okay.
of their
Where the
building,
fuck is
and
that?
provide better access to affordable low carbon transportation.
Yeah, y'all.
Okay, so the first one is
Where's that at?
reduce carbon.
It's in the third paragraph on the back.
Alright. Oh, I see it.
I don't get number 3.
Irritants in the air. You said number 3?
Yeah.
Irritants in the air. When y'all ready, we're going to start with the facilitating questions.
We doing what?
Are you guys ready?
No. My back hurts.
got everybody ready?
Yep. Ready?
All right. The first question: what is the main idea of the text?
Asthma is like to me the main idea is about basically airways in Philadelphia. Go ahead, Jim.
Put it, like, what I got is like climate change and the effect that it has on people with asthma.
Yeah. I think I feel as though like it's about like the climate change in Philadelphia, but like how it's affecting people with asthma and how it's getting like worse and stuff. And because of the climate change and stuff, the effect it has, it's like they're gonna start seeing like more and more people in the hospitals related to asthma and stuff and whatever.
Asthma ain't no joke either.
Yeah.
It really not.
It's a lot deeper than people really think it is.
Yeah. For some reason, some people like they want to have asthma.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
So they want asthma?
Yeah, some people want to have asthma. Like they be like, I have asthma, but they never had an asthma pump.
And they don't even be knowing what the machines are like. It is loud. And you can sit there for a long time.
Does anybody else have an opinion about the main idea? What they think is the main idea?
I just told you.
I wanted to see if anybody else has something. Okay, what is the author's perspective or purpose?
Its purpose is basically telling us, giving us information about Philadelphia, the air.
Yeah. What's-
So I feel like his purpose really is to raise awareness of what global warming is doing to people with asthma in our city.
Informing us.
Especially being we have like I guess the dirtiest air. Well, we third in the country with the dirtiest air. Like it affects us more than other areas, more than other states.
I have a comment on what you said. Like, I think a reason why like our air is like so dirty and stuff, because we're like one of the biggest cities, like the 4th or 5th biggest city in the United States, and since we have like all these buildings, like y'all said, the author said, and the cars and stuff, and we're a city, so all that just goes in the atmosphere. People smoke and stuff, all that all plays a part and stuff. And then I think the other purpose was like again like to see like people don't be caring like about this stuff. Like nobody goes around like in their neighborhoods talking about this stuff, but they don't understand. When they like be like, why is it so hot, or why is it going to keep you hot, thing is in there, then they're going to be like, well, I should have known more about this. Maybe I can change my way of doing things or change.
Yeah, I know we all know a lot of people with asthma. Like, I know a lot of people with asthma.
Okay.
Number 3. In your opinion, what is the most important word, sentence, or paragraph? I got a good one for this. Does anybody? Well, I think the most important like sentence was, I don't feel like reading, but the most important sentence to me when it said, as the temperature rises, so do heat-related illnesses and deaths, particularly for people who are old, young, or sick. I mean, I find that important because, like we're classified young, but when they're saying this here, I'm using this as, like, probably, like, babies and stuff and little older people, because, like, older people, when you get old, you can't really, like, sometimes you can't, like, really move around and stuff and whatever. So if you're in your house by yourself or something, or just older period and can't get to your stuff, then you could die when you have an asthma attack. And the young babies can't talk and stuff. They don't know how to tell when something wrong. And then you might think something wrong by like the way they acting, because you know your child, but the whole time it's something else. They have asthma attack and then sick. Like people that got cancer and stuff and whatever. Like their immune system is already messed up. So all of it is just worsened and stuff. So I think that's important, because if we don't, like the climate keep getting worse, then it's going to be more and more deaths, and you never know, it could be a close death next to you. You never know.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important. And just to add to that, I also feel like The important part is the fact that we number 3 in the country. That's real bad. To be number 3 in the country for all this pollution. And then,
That's all these countries.
yeah, and then like, I got a personal experience. Like I lost my niece to asthma, and I didn't know how deep that was until she died. Like I never thought she was going to die from asthma. So like, I see that this is a real problem, and I'm predicting she probably would have never died if the air wasn't as bad as it is. Like let's say we was 50th in the country, you feel me? She probably been able to breathe today if she passed.
If this is not a touchy subject for you, like how old was she when she passed? Like what happened? She had asthma attack?
Yeah, she had a bunch of asthma attacks. Like she always had asthma attacks, but she had bad asthma. But she was only 30.
See, they said it in the paragraph. Yup, that's sad. So with her, it just kept work. They didn't do nothing at the hospital. She just had an asthma attack and nobody.
Yeah, she was. When we make it, if she make it to the hospital, she's fine. The thing was, she must have like an asthma attack in the middle of the night or something.
Yeah.
She died overnight.
Oh,
She was 30.
they found her.
Yeah, down there in the morning. Yeah.
Does anybody else feel like something else was important on number 4?
Even like the air we breathe, we should even be careful about ourselves. Because it don't make sense that we don't care about the air we breathe.
Yeah, so if you smoke,
Like, even if you, yeah, that's true. Even when you got secondhand smoke, that hits the person worse next to you than yourself.
that's true.
Oh yeah, and you can write that as a question too. I have a question about like how is somebody that's actually smoking it, the person that's next to them get it worse, like receive worse effects? It's like you might as well smoke the cigarette yourself. I never
the
understood
ear already
it.
dirty.
Yeah, but
so
that's,
that plus the ear that make that together is like.
but did you get my? I'm saying like the person that's smoking it, they're the one that's inhaling all of it and stuff. Remember, but because the smoke ball, I just don't understand how that works. It's like it doesn't matter if you smoke the cigarette or
And
not.
it hurts animals too. Even your animals at home.
No, I'm an animal, so I know. We are animals.
I ain't no animal.
I ain't no animal.
We're mammals.
We're mammals.
No.
We're mammals. We're warm
Oh,
blooded.
we getting off
I
the
came
subject.
from my mom. I ain't no animal. I came out of baby.
You is a
Like,
mammal.
I ain't gonna say
Relax.
that. Like, if you really look deep into it, ain't none of us no mammals. You can't.
First of all.
Mammals,
We're not
anything
mammals.
is a warm
It was
blood.
monkeys, then it was cavemans, then that was
No,
us.
first of all, it was
Mammal.
Adam, then it was
Just shut
Eve.
up.
Thank you.
I'm Muslim.
Well, in my turn,
Mammals are warm blooded.
So
Yeah.
I'm not no monkey.
I'm a mammal.
I'm a mammal. I'm right with you.
I'm a mammal. I'm a mammal.
Isn't a mammal like a whale and stuff?
A mammal. A whale is a mammal.
A mammal is
Okay, number 5.
working.
We on 4.
Number 4. Is there something in the text that is unclear to you?
Unclear.
Unclear to you.
Why do people? Oh, let me put that question up there. Why are we animals?
Cause.
That's not in the joint.
That's not in the text.
That's just a question though. Alright. That's just a question that came to mind since we was talking about it.
Alright.
Why not know for sure?
Is there anything like you found like confusing or unclear, like what you don't really understand or want to get to know more about, like questions or something?
No.
I want to know what's our level of whatever that's called that's making our ear bad. What's our level? The level in the city. What is it? The carbon dioxide level or something? What is it in our city? I don't know. I know what it is, but the mercury and the carbon dioxide levels. And actually, mercury, I heard it before, but I thought that was like a
It's a
poison.
planet.
No, the other mercury, like the actual, it's like I don't know if it's like a liquid metal or it's like a poison or something, because I think I've seen it in movies before too. It's actually a poison. You can die from it. You will die from it, I think. Yeah.
And I'm wondering how exactly do heat like make pollen and
Cause most of the
Oh, I
time,
didn't see it.
most
What
of the
paragraph
time
was it?
it's like when
It's
pollen and
the
stuff
first
come
paragraph
around.
on the back. But how is, I don't want to know how exactly does heat make them worse? Or like make that.
Cause most of the time, like if you notice when it get warm out, that's like around the springtime and stuff. That's when like mostly it's pollen and stuff in the air, cause the flowers and stuff growing, and people allergies and stuff messing up.
Yeah,
I got that.
Yeah, but
I hate.
so that's another question I got, but next to his is because how does heat make it worse and stuff with the pollen and stuff? But we need like sunlight and heat for the plants to even grow anyway, so we can still be alive. Like we need trees and stuff to breathe, but then when they grow and making pollen, and that's just messing us up. To like everything is linked to each other. It's just messing everything up. We're gonna die. That's just the end of it.
I'm already halfway done.
Yeah. They need to know too.
Yo, where did I get you from? Not you,
My fault.
My legs.
Number 6. What do they mean for us personally? Like as you can see, like what's his name?
Anthony.
Hustle.
Anthony.
He already
Who was Hustle?
his shirt. I didn't know his name.
I'm crazy.
My name tag right here.
Anthony.
No.
Anthony.
What do they mean for us personally? Like he shared a personal experience and stuff. And I know it all touched you, lovely hearts. Does anybody else what do it mean to you personally about this? Like,
I mean, I
how
got
do you
asthma
feel?
myself, but I ain't really even though I got asthma, I ain't really care about it. Like, my mom told me when I was 6 months in the summertime, I was dead in the back of my dad's car. When she told me, I'm like, first of all, what? You saying anything? Like, she was like, they said I had got rushed to the hospital and everything. That's when she first found out I had asthma. I was a 6-month-old baby, and I was in the back of his car not breathing. So, and it was the summertime. So that's I don't know. I just never took it serious. Even when she told me that, I'm still like, what? Even though growing up I was always on the machine. To this day, my asthma still messed up, and my asthma will act up if I'm mad about something, I get real riled up, and I'm ready to fight or something. I start wheezing and all types of stuff. But then I don't know. I just never took it serious. I still use my pump and stuff. But I don't have to be on a machine no more. Because when I was younger, it was real bad. But you know how they say people can grow out of it? I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe it is because it's not as bad as it used to be. I still got it, but it's not as bad that how I used to.
I grew out a lot of my allergies. Like when I was younger, I'm allergic to apples, supposed to be nuts,
I love apples.
soy, pears, plums, yes, all that. Nutella. So when I got older, I can eat Snickers now, but I can't eat a nut. And I can drink apple juice, but I can't eat apples.
That's crazy.
If I eat an apple right now, I'll blow up. But if I drink apple juice, nothing will happen. If I eat Apple Jacks or something, nothing will happen. If I eat a Snicker bar, nothing will happen.
Yeah, because there's the different poisons the government put in it, so it's not really apple juice, it's something else. It got the taste of it.
My little sister,
It's by the government.
my little sister can't eat peanuts. She can't eat no dairy. She allergic to all
She's
dairy.
lactose intolerant.
No, she's allergic to it. It's different between lactose intolerant and
If you
allergic.
Lactose intolerant is food is a food allergy. That means you're allergic. That's why you can't eat it.
First of all, I'm lactose intolerant and I eat everything.
I don't know how you don't do that.
You
My
lactose
little
intolerant
cousin-
is when you
sister-
eat that, you get real gassy.
Yeah.
Our allergic reaction is way different. You
For
be
real,
close
my
to
little
dying.
sister, her
When
throat
I
be
had an allergic
opening up
reaction, my
everything.
throat
Well,
opened
because
up.
I got diagnosed with I got told I got lactose intolerance and stuff, and they told me it's a food allergy. That's why you have all those
Is
symptoms.
lactose
Maybe it's
intolerant a
different.
food
You still eat it though,
That's the
don't you?
question.
No, sometimes the cream cheese bagel. That's why we gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay, that's different. My little cousin, my little sister.
We can't digest
If my
it.
little sister eat
Right.
that, her throat would get swollen and close up and stuff. She can't have no. She gotta drink skim milk, skim milk. Ain't that's what it's called when they have
Silk
different.
milk?
If you having different flavors
Like
olive
soup
and
or
all that
lactate?
stuff. I don't know. but she gotta drink milk like that. She can't. I be feeling bad for her. She can't have no big macaroni, no
drink
pizza,
milk
none
like
of
that?
that.
She has to drink milk like that?
Yeah, she can't have whole milk or nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you see how she still can drink milk, but it's a specific type. You have
She has to
lactose
drink
intolerance.
like skin. It's not lactose intolerant.
No, I'm saying
it's
if
different.
She
If
still
she
can take milk,
if
she's
you
not
drink
allergic to it.
if you drink whole milk or whatever, you gotta go to the bathroom. She gotta get rushed to the hospital. It's two different things.
She probably have it worse. Yeah, I don't know what that's called, but that's
She's
all I'm
allergic
saying.
to, her doctor said she's
All I'm
allergic
saying,
to
I'm
it.
allergic to all that stuff. I'm not supposed to drink it or eat it.
Man, I'm lactose intolerant. I eat everything and drink.
You don't be in pain?
No.
Oh, that's crazy.
Crazy.
All right, number 7. Oh yeah, I wanted to comment on what y'all said
That's so
about the thing. I think our immune system too, how she's allergic to all that stuff. Like when y'all said y'all can grow out of it and stuff, I think it's not really necessary about growing. I don't think nobody can grow. I think your body comes immune to it, start to get immune to it. Once you start taking control of it, once the problems start. Like you never know. Once you stop uncontrolling it, it could start like getting back to it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it could start getting back to it.
But at first, like, listen, the other, like, I tried to do it, like, I hadn't eaten apples in a while. Ever since I ate apples the last time, they said that I could have died if I didn't get to the hospital one time. So, like, 2 months ago, I cut the skin off an apple and I tried it. And I still ended up, like, my throat felt like it was about to close, my throat started itching. So then I went upstairs and just took a whole bunch of Benadryl. I felt better. I didn't need to go to the hospital. I had to take control over it because before I used to, because I was younger, I used to have a panic attack and I would get real hyped and scared. Real scared because my throat is closed and I'm like, I'm really about to die. But when I calmed down, I was like, oh, if I just take the medicine, I continue to take it and I felt better. I didn't have to go to the hospital. It would be all in my head.
Alright. So, did we do number 7?
No.
Alright. Well, we basically already said it, like, when, like, the main idea in number 2 is, like, why is the material important? Y'all said, like, to make a weird informant stuff or whatever. Do anybody else want to add to it or no? Alright. Number 8. Who is most affected by pollution in the air in Philadelphia?
Babies.
The people.
I think everyone.
Yes.
Everybody.
I think babies.
I think
Like, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Like, we stronger, so we can kind of take more than a baby because they're just coming out. Like, if a newborn was to come out, you see how bad this air is?
Yeah.
That's why when a newborn is first born, you must stay in the house for 6 weeks because this air is bad.
I get what you're saying, but it's saying,
It can be someone our age with the same type of immune system.
Yeah, that's why I think they're saying like it don't matter. Like the fact, I get what you're saying. Like they the most thing, but they saying like who is affected, not like the severity effect. Like who's affected? Everybody's affected, like by the pollution.
Everybody affected, but who's most affected?
No, that's not the question.
It is. That is.
Most affected.
Oh, who is most affected? Oh, I
I
didn't
would
see
say
it.
everybody because the adult can have the same immune system
Yeah.
as the baby.
Not really.
What?
It's never
They
going to
can
be
because
the same.
look,
No debating.
my son
It's
immune
not-
You can
system.
be more.
No debating.
If you bring your newborn, a newborn is nowhere on the level of us. A newborn baby is nowhere near on the level of us.
I wasn't talking about us. I'm saying like we can have an immune system as a baby. It's people that got weak immune systems. My son got a bad immune system. He got low white blood cells. If he get any type of fever, he gotta get rushed to the hospital because his body can't fight it all. So that's what I'm saying. It's people like our age that got the same thing.
But in general, probably, if they're not talking about like everyone in general, they probably going to be talking about what Imani said because the babies, like again, they still can go out. But what Diamond is saying, I feel as though it's also right too. But I think if we generalizing it, it's probably the babies. Like I don't have a
But we
baby,
don't
but
have to sit in the house. When we was first born.
I know. I just said you. I agree
No,
with
I'm
you.
just saying. I know. I'm just saying. When we was born, we all had to sit in the house for 6 weeks. Okay. When
I was
had
in
my son,
Vietnam.
but at the same time, pregnant girls are also affected by it. Because when we come out the hospital, we really not supposed to go nowhere because we're so open down there.
Y'all still be open?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
I thought
We're not supposed to go nowhere. That's why when I came to school 2 days after I had my baby, because I wasn't ready to be out. You can get real sick. It's called a setback.
All right. Number 9. Why is climate change and global warming a social justice issue? Before we answer that, can somebody please explain to me what
Yeah,
is social justice? I know
Right there,
social
in the
means
boat. In the boat.
Social justice.
social
It's a
justice.
concept of fair and just relations between the individual and society.
I still don't get it. So yeah, we don't get it. I don't get it. Like when I think of social, I think like of socializing with somebody, and then that's what I think of, like social, like communicating much with somebody, like, and then it's saying social justice. Like I think everything, like any debate or stuff. I mean not debate, but like things that go around talking about stuff is social. So I don't get what they mean by social justice. It's a concept of fair and just relations between individual and science and society. Oh, if I'm saying this right, I think it means like how is like your perspective versus society, but why is it such a social justice? I think personally because probably everybody have their own opinions or knowledge about it and stuff and whatever. So when you have different opinions and knowledge about stuff, you can't really get to the right answer or right way of things. So I think it's like basically like your opinion versus society opinion and stuff. I think that's what I can say because I can't. Does anybody else want to think what they say?
I feel like it's something about like, let's say social justice, the concept for fair and just relations between the individual and society. So it's saying like, what's climate change? What is it? What issue is it causing between us and society? Like, I just lost it. It's going.
But that was the last question, Mr. Pete. Number 9.
What about these? What we got to do these?
No.
You sure?
That was for if nobody wasn't talking, me asking.
Oh, wrap it up.
And I did a lot of that. I kept asking like, does anybody else?
No, we got debrief.
Yeah,
What's debrief?
Always the bottom.
The
Do
bottom.
everybody? Do you feel like you understand text at deeper level?
I just
I feel like I understand this.
I think we all can connect to it and stuff and like in your personal experience.
Yeah.
All right. Do you feel like you understand the complexity of climate change and global warming at a deeper level? No.
No.
I don't think this was enough. I think there's more to everything and stuff. Also the government. That's a different story.
I only understand asthma deeper because of this. Not global warming.
How was process for us? Did we follow guidelines? I think we did 75% good. It was like a 2 little bit almost debate.
95.
I think we did good without the help of them.
We did good, y'all.
We did good without the help of them. Alright. And what was one thing you noticed about the seminar?
Everybody was agreeing to a lot of things.
And everybody was like,
Most of us participated.
everybody, and I think everybody already had knowledge about asthma already anyway. Like we already knew some stuff about it. Yep.
Yeah, keep it up. Give it up for yourself. I gotta say, we'll keep this running. So we've done this 4 times session 1, and this is the 3rd time session 2. So 7 times, 3 blocks. That's 21 Socratic seminars. And I think this is one of the best ones I've seen.
Thank you.
So we covered this a little bit, but I want to ask it again. What are some things that you did really well?
Nobody raised their hand. I don't think it was too much of a debate.
Yeah,
Right.
nobody didn't raise their hand at all, and like we did like way better, like better than the times when we like talk over each other and stuff. And we let everybody finish saying what they had to say and stuff and whatever. And we made sure like we didn't skip over. We made sure like to ask that anybody still like have like opinion on everybody thing before we move to the same question. So giving turns and chances and stuff and whatever.
And the overall vibe was great.
It was good vibe.
Yeah.
Felt
Good
good.
vibe.
And everybody could connect and relate and have personal like experiences and stuff.
It didn't feel like all intense. Like the
Yeah.
first one was like intense because everybody was like yelling at each other, talking over.
I thought it was
Nobody
debate.
Because it's less, I feel there's less people.
Yeah, probably like big.
I feel like it was nice and more relaxing.
Yeah.
Relax.
You got that? Do you feel like it was balanced between voices?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody didn't speak over no one at all.
What do you
we all
mean?
let each other talk at one at a
Right.
time.
Teamwork.
Teamwork was shown.
Teamwork.
I agree. Dreamwork.
We had a little twits in between, but
Little
overall
chit-chat,
we did good.
Yeah, it was just one little debate. Other than that, it was chill.
It's kind of cool to be able to notice, like, oh, we had a little debate within the discussion. Because you're already thinking in terms of not every discussion is a debate. And then, oh, this was more debate, like, this was more discussion. And if it only veers into that territory for a little bit, that's still something to be aware of. It's natural.
Yeah, I was really proud of you guys when you went off to the left or right, and then for a little bit you explored that, but
Oh
had
yeah, I forgot I started about the monkeys and the animals.
the discipline to come back and bring it back onto
And then the other one
the
was
main
the
idea.
debate.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, please, it's not a debate. People start yelling you.
Clap twice if you can hear me. Next week it will be the final one. Before you go, there's some homework.
It's some homework.
At least
Stop playing.
Baby, she's trying to jump me.
How's she trying to jump you by herself?
Yeah. So
Hey, put your name on that.
Maybe you would have got a better reaction out of me if you made me record.
put your name on this, please.
Yo, she really shakes.
After the shake.
My name is Heavenly.
Clap twice if you can hear me.
You practice it.
How to clap 3 times if you can hear me. Is this article a secondary or primary source?
Secondary.
Bingo.
So what's this?
So this is a reflection
The
form.
same thing that we did yesterday.
Yep. And as we get closer to the end of the session, you're gonna have to turn in reflection forms, 2 or 4, depending if you're going competent or highly competent.
I ain't turning it.
I only got one.
Turn to everything.
I'm turning everything.
I can do that. I can do that, right?
Sister,
I can turn to everything, right?
Yes.
Alright.
So wait,
Clap twice if you can hear me.
nephew.
The last piece I want to get out before we dismiss.
He about to be Amy's a big time premium.
Quantitative data.
smacking my name.
Quantitative data is data that contains
Number.
numbers. Qualitative data is data that contains
No number.
No number, right?
So keep that in mind tonight as you're reviewing the text.
Smack diamond.
Parts that have numbers and parts that
Yeah,
don't.
the Socratic His name is Evan. He's named after me.
You're good to go, Block 3.
Smack diamond if you can hear me.
After the snack.
I'm about to promote.
Can everybody say thank you, Mr.
November
Dean?
18th. We're going to get my son party. Paw Patrol all day.
That's what I'm talking about. I take a class on Saturdays, but next Wednesday, if you're here after school, we can meet then.
Well, we're gonna find a way to
All
get
right,
it
Ian. See you
Put it
tomorrow.
all on my brain.
Get some sleep.
We'll be a little early.
Oh, Mr. T, you got all these testy rolls.
Yes.
Oh, I should get those out of there. They're gifts. I have
Can I have
to.
one?
I wish I could, but I have to give them away.
They have one.
I think they're
Yo, we out.
pretty good.
Come on. Come get your bread taken for one.
Mr. P.
Ah, thank you.
You see a room?
Yeah.
You working out?
Yeah, you can hit that if you want.
I'm
Hey,
doing it in the
baby.
morning.
Okay.
Oh, la otra semana.
I said hi.